New Jersey citizens talk about the issues that matter most to them. Next on Democracy Works.
Major funding for Democracy Works has been provided by the New Jersey Carpenter Contractor Trust, New Jersey Natural Gas, QualCare, Monmouth University, the Fund for New Jersey, Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, Community Education Centers, St. Barnabas Healthcare System, Hill Wallach LLP, Johnson & Johnson, the New Jersey Education Association, Judy and Josh Weston, and the Provident Bank. Additional funding has been provided by these public-spirited organizations.
Welcome to Democracy Works. I'm Steve Adubato. It's no secret that New Jersey is $36 billion in debt. Now, how do we get our fiscal house in order? Here to discuss these and other important issues are a group of concerned and thoughtful citizens, including Dr. Joe Marbach, who is Acting Dean of Arts and Sciences at the great Seton Hall University. Marjorie Perry, been with us a few times, right, Marjorie?
Yes.
Owns her own company. It's called MZM Construction. Angel Dennis, also with us many times in the past, Acting Senior Vice President and CFO of a new bank called First Bank Americano. Jim Capobianco, who is retired and serves as the primary caregiver for his wife, who has Alzheimer's and resides at home. And finally, Eve Robinson, Executive Director of the Montclair Community Pre-K. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Here's what we did. We went all over the state, and we said, where are the 5 most thoughtful, articulate, and you're wondering how we found you, right?
Yeah, figure that out.
We found 5 people who really care greatly about the issues that matter most. And let me just be, you know, in the spirit of full disclosure, Governor Corzine was scheduled to appear with us. And just at the last minute, he had to travel out of the state, and we decided to have the focus group anyway, have the governor back with us at another time. And also, remember this, our team's going to put up this website throughout the show. The governor is coming into the studios at 13 WNET in May for a live call-in. So if you hear issues today that are important and you want to chime in, write to us. If you don't hear an issue today that you want to have the governor address, chime in as well. You're going to see the website, the Democracy Works website. The governor will be with us. The show is called Corzine on the Line. It's simulcast on a variety of PBS stations, and we look forward to having the governor with us. But just for this program, we have a group of very informed and concerned citizens. First issue. Look, the $36 billion debt, all right? At a certain point, Professor, do people begin to ask themselves, what do you mean $36 billion in debt? What does that number really mean, and what does it mean to me? Isn't that the government's problem?
Well, it's the government's problem, but who funds the government? And it's the taxpayers eventually are on the hook for that $36 billion. And some people actually estimate it's over $100 billion when you look at unfunded pension liabilities that stretch way into the
Back
future.
up. A lot of times it gets a little jargony. Unfunded pension liabilities means that there are commitments made by state government officials to state workers, to public school teachers, for their retirement benefits as well as their health care benefits.
And their health care benefits.
Except the only catch was along the way, the government didn't put the money in those funds, and now who's on the line for that?
Taxpayers.
Taxpayers.
Ultimately. So.
How does that affect a small business owner?
Well, we still don't know what the fallout's going to be. It's tough enough doing business as it is. I mean, when you think about hiring new people, they're also talking now, they have on the books that where they want us to give paid leave. You know,
right.
How much more do you want to put on a small business?
Wait a minute, hold on. That the government is saying, some
Yeah.
are saying, this is interesting how this conversation is going to go around. We're talking about public employees and the nice, some people think they have a great deal. Some people think that that's what they deserve because they're public employees. And you say, the government's also telling us if I'm in the private sector and I have my own business, that I have to give paid leave to someone who goes on leave for what?
For 10 months, a year, you know, and
Well, they have to have a
pay
good
them
reason.
something.
Well, hold on. No, it's not
They
10
will have
months
to
a
have
year.
a good reason, but I'm just saying that's now on the books legislatively to be pushed forward for people to get paid leave.
But isn't the principle,
But
family
right,
leave.
family
Say
leave.
someone's
But-
going to care for an aging parent.
Right.
Right.
Say someone is on extended leave after they've had a child.
Right.
I mean, you think, Marge, that's a good thing to do, because if the government doesn't mandate that, a lot of companies won't do it, right?
Absolutely. They will not do it. It's too, we can't afford it. So if you're a smaller business.
Like yours?
Smaller business and your second in command goes away, That's lost revenue, that's lost time, that's lost everything for me, because they're mandating everybody in the private sector. They're not discriminating against, you know, Johnson & Johnson and MZM.
Right.
They're not discriminating, it's everybody. So I'm saying I'd have to be able to do the same thing. I don't have the same revenue stream as a Johnson & Johnson may have. Therefore, I lose that time to build my business again, development slows down, and we start all over again because we have to get somebody in and bring that person back, pay that person that's gone, and keep it moving.
Now you got me thinking about universal health care because, again, while we're a New Jersey-based program, we're seen in the tri-state area and on Comcast, we're seen all along the East Coast. This is a national issue. And what the state, often the state governments wind up dealing with things that the federal government can't or won't do. Right? Let's talk about universal health care. The governor says he supports it. In fact, Senator Joseph Vitale, who is the chairman of the Senate Health Committee, has been here many times advocating universal health care. Why do you think we don't have it? Why don't we have universal health care? Health care for everyone in this state. If the feds aren't going to do it, why not in the state? Why can't we have it?
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert in healthcare, I'm an educator, but from my vantage point, it seems to me that the insurance companies are not interested in it, and neither are the drug companies. They're more interested, you know, it's a profit industry.
Well, they're there to make a profit.
They're there to make a profit, and universal health care means that there will be some segment of the population that won't be able to pay, and the government will have to pay, and they don't feel they'll get the same amount of profit out of the healthcare system that they're getting right now.
Yeah, but wait a minute. People like Jim, you've been caring for your wife for how long?
Since '97, she was diagnosed. So
With Alzheimer's.
but it's been a slow progression, but now she's at a point where she's 100% disabled.
What has it meant to your life?
I had to retire early. I had, as soon as I hit, actually I got out before I hit 62, went on unemployment. Then I took early retirement, which cost me money that I could have stayed. I probably would still be working. I'm 66.
Your wife's at home.
My wife's at home.
What do you expect from the government?
We're not getting any type of assistance.
What do you mean assistance?
I take my wife to daycare. Daycare costs me, and this is a private daycare, only because back in 2003, my wife was attending 2 daycares that were funded by the state, and they were canceled.
It's called smaller government.
Back in 2003, we had to change daycare programs. I had to find a private daycare. The cost at present is $78 per day, and that's because I drive her. If she has transportation where a bus picks her up or something, it's more than that. Now, there's no help for that. There's no subsistence for that.
Why?
Because it depends on, I shouldn't say there's no subsistence. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Steve. You hit the nail on the head. If you're in the middle class, the rich people can afford it, yes. The poor people are going to be helped. They should be. People like me, middle class, I work for a living, now I'm retired on a fixed income.
Your health isn't the best?
Social Security, my health isn't the best. I've got 7 stents in my heart. I just had another one put in before Thanksgiving.
Do you resent this?
I don't resent it, other than the fact that I think more attention has to be paid to the healthcare situation because of the fact that we are coming into an era where everybody's talking about the baby boomers. All right, and I know it's a cliche, you hear about it all the time, but if you stop and think about it, and I'm pre-baby boomer, I was born in 1942, I'm having trouble. Consider the fact that within the next 10 years to 15 years and beyond, the baby boomers, people are living longer, people are healthier.
Right.
I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for the current medicine and drugs and stuff that are out there. So people are living longer. And the problem is just going to put a bigger strain on an already strained, help for people that
let's try this.
need it.
Angel, this is interesting because we picked a variety of people who are politically diverse, let's say, in their way of looking at things. You identify yourself as a Republican. Okay?
Correct.
Just let me ask you something. You hear Jim, and someone might say, watching, you know what? I feel for this guy. And the government, be it the state government in New Jersey or the national government, really owes this guy. They owe this guy. And I'd like to see the government step up and spend more public dollars, bigger government, on his situation. Spend more. Now, as a fiscal conservative, on your end, who's looking to cut back, what would you say to him?
Well, you know, it's tough because, first of all, I'm a moderate Republican.
Whatever that means.
Okay, you need to distinguish yourself from whom? Are you a John McCain Republican?
I am,
Christie Whitman Republican?
I'm a Christie Whitman Republican.
So you
to a point.
supported the massive income tax cut a few years ago, which in part put us into this debt. I'm sorry, Angel.
You just had to put that in there, didn't you?
I'm sorry, I just,
Sí,
but
pero-
what does it
sí,
mean to
pero
be,
a la misma cosa, lo que está pasando aquí.
you're not a Pat Buchanan Republican.
Oh, no.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, no.
So are you a compassionate,
Yes, I am a compassionate.
conservative Republican. But seriously, go back to this issue of less government, because every poll out there says people want less government, smaller government, cut the size of government, cut government services. Jim Capobianco lays out a situation where I bet a lot of people watching saying, help that guy. That's not less government, that's actually more government. No?
Oh, absolutely. But we need, there are certain things that we just have to be responsible for.
Such as?
For the healthcare.
So you're for universal health care?
I don't know enough about it because you hear Canada, apparently it works very well in Canada.
Well, if you watch Michael Moore's movie, which is, great, but edit it, and you don't know the whole situation, but that's another story. Go ahead.
I'm not really familiar with it. I mean,
Well, go ahead.
I'm Cuban, so apparently
Cuba has the best.
Cuba's medical care is
I just always
terrific.
wonder why so many people in other countries come here to get the operations they need, but go ahead.
Well, when they come here, are they wealthy?
No, what I'm saying is people who can find their way here, I don't want to get into a complex debate here, but when everyone talks about other countries being better than the United States when it comes to health care, I'm not sure they're talking about quality. Access is another issue, but stay on this.
But
do you believe it's a basic, it's an important issue, because we're doing this program right the last day, literally in February. The last Democratic presidential debate was last night between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. By the time the show airs, there may only be one candidate. I'm not sure who that will be. And they spent 20 minutes on health care, so maybe there's something to this. Do you believe, Angel, that it is the government's responsibility to provide health care to every person in this country, whether they can afford it or not?
yes.
Do you believe that?
I don't think, I think we have to, personally, no, I don't believe that.
Why not?
I think we have to, and I think part of what the governor did with his budget is lay the groundwork for a robust debate over what the proper role of government in society is.
Stay on
Now,
health care, though.
Stay on health care. I don't necessarily believe that the government should mandate health care for everyone, which is the Clinton program that you're
Right.
going to advocate. I think it ought to be made available, and through
Just the
an
Obama.
insurance program that would allow market forces to get involved, that would allow the aggregate of the healthy individuals, and we could do this state by state.
Market forces, doctor?
Market forces.
How are market forces supposed to help Jim?
There would be, what would happen is you'd see a need for a certain service that develops, need for Alzheimer's
Sure.
assistance.
Sometimes, actually, the needs that are out there aren't moneymakers, right?
They're not moneymakers,
Go
right?
ahead.
And we have other mechanisms, such as nonprofit organizations,
Right.
to come in and help out. Education is a great example of how
Right.
we've moved in that direction. If we allow the initiatives, the innovative ideas that have really propelled America, the small businesses that might be out there, find an opportunity, and if there's an incentive to meet that opportunity, not necessarily through a government mandate, but through an insurance program.
Okay, you don't see the
Yeah.
government taking the lead here
I don't
on
necessarily
healthcare.
see that.
You
yeah.
believe it's private sector, market forces. If we have the potential to provide health care for people in this country and this state, right, obviously, it's going to be market forces.
I think so, and I think that's going to be the most effective because it goes to that issue of quality that you
Final
talked about.
comments on health care, then we're moving to the larger question of suffering pain, because the governor's budget address should have just been called pain, nothing but pain.
Well,
We're going to
I
we're going to talk about that.